we started this series, we mentioned that the Indian culture, Hindu culture, is not separate from religion. And the religion is not separate from the spiritual wisdom. Either the form, the religious form, is a manifestation of the spiritual wisdom, or it is a form to give us that wisdom, a form that will lead us to that wisdom. And that religious form becomes culture. And therefore, to study Indian culture and understand, one needs to go to the root, to the source. Every form has a message to give, and it is meaningful. As I said, one has to go to the source. The source is the books. A huge literature we have, spiritual literature. It's not just the Gita and the Vedas. There are itihasas, Puranas, and to expound them, we have a library of literature. Even in the literature of any regional language in India, Hindi literature, Tamil literature, Telugu or Gujarati or Oriya, in all these regional language literature, you find this wisdom expounded, unfolded. We see it is unfolded in sculptures. You have a message in a frozen sculpture. You find this message being unfolded in folk songs, in classical music, in the lyrics of classical music. It's all one whole. It's one breathing whole, a live whole. I'm not talking of an ancient culture which is dead and gone. It is a live culture, and it is one live whole spirituality, spiritual wisdom, then the religion, religious traditions, forms, and culture. Culture is language, music, sculpture, lifestyle, attitudes, values. All these form culture. The attitude of an Indian, of this following still the indigenous culture towards the world is not the same as we find in different cultures. The people of different cultures have certain attitude towards the world, and it has a religious sanction. And the theology makes them look at the world as a world created by God for the human being's consumption. So the world becomes a field for experience, for human beings' experience. It becomes as an opportunity. It opens up an opportunity for one to enjoy, consume and enjoy. And any concern about the environment which we see in the West is not for the sake of the world, it is for the sake of themselves. They don't want the world to be destroyed environmentally. They don't want any harmful situation because they cannot enjoy anymore. This kind of a feeling that everything has to be there for human being. The resources, natural resources are getting depleted. They need to be preserved. Forests are to be saved. The atmosphere has to be healthy. And therefore, so there is a concern, big concern. I say this concern has come about because of consuming this world, that because it is meant for consumption, what else you have to do? Then afterwards, everybody finds this world is not available at this rate, is not available for healthy consumption, will not be available for any type of consumption. Therefore, there is a natural concern. The attitude of that villager in India is entirely different. The attitude is that this is a manifestation. The villager may not know the word manifestation or an equivalent word in his her own language. But the villager tells this is all Ishvara, which amounts to saying that it is a manifestation. As my body, mind, sense complex also is a manifestation. If I have a right to live and every one of them has got a right to live, the tree has a right to live, every plant has got a right to live, and therefore we have a mandate in our Dharma Shastra that if a tree is to be felled for use, for some purpose, let there be 10 trees planted somewhere. Not only planted, but they are seen through in their growth. Let them be taken care of until they reach a level. And if the tree has to survive to be a tree, mean the plant has to survive to become a tree, and if it is protected initially, they thought the survival rate is 1 to 10. Therefore, grow 10 trees. If you happen to cut a tree, so that's a prashchitta. So life lives upon life. We have a certain symbiotic connection with the world. I protect the world protects me. I protect dharma, dharma protects me. This is how we live. This they recognized. Parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah param avapsyata. When we protect the forces, propitiate the forces, devatas, we don't look upon the forces, as devatas, because everything is a manifestation of Ishvara. Therefore, so when you take care of them, acknowledge them in your life, they protect you. You are talking of devatas, unseen devatas. When you acknowledge them, they take care of you. Unseen devatas. What to talk of the seen life forms who contribute to your well-being. And therefore our ahimsa concept is extended to every life form. That's why I have daily prayer and daily charity also. Reaching out karma I do, so that I neutralize whatever papa I have gathered in my survival. For my survival's sake, I need to destroy a few things. I need to, in a competitive world, cause some hurt to somebody. Even though I am very alert to live a life of least rubbing, least hurt, still I hurt, and for which alone we do daily nitya karma, acts of charity, and also prayer, which I said produces adrishta to neutralize papa. It's an alert life. It's a life that is lived in the awareness of the whole scheme as Ishvara. If you have to learn to look at Indian calendar, you have to spend quite some time with a person who knows what it is all about. Indian calendar is not just day and date and month. It is day, tithi, the date in the lunar fortnight, whether it is the first day or second day, prathama, dvitiya, and also whether it is the waxing moon or waning moon. What is the fortnight, the bright or dark fortnight? What is the month? And what is the year? It's not just number from somewhere you start. It is a name in a cycle of 60 years. And therefore, what is the name of the year? Then where does the moon today stay? In which constellation, which nakshatra? Then there are a few others. How long, etc. When does the moon move from this constellation to another constellation? It is a long line. And each particular detail is given in an abbreviated form. To understand all this, my God, it takes some real days, a few days. And one has to learn from a person who knows what it is all about. Yoga, Karana. What I say, my life is connected to the whole scheme. It's not isolated to this earth. The whole scheme. Once you say nakshatra, you have gone beyond the solar system. And in the solar system, other planets also we recognize where they are every day. The position. All these are part of the calendar. You can see all this in the calendar. What does it all mean? This is a very awareful culture, highly mindful culture, a caring culture. And therefore, so one has to be very, very committed to learn all about this culture. Otherwise, it would look very confusing. It would look very diverse. It would look superstitious too. Because one doesn't understand. One doesn't understand not because there is nothing to understand. One doesn't spend time to understand. One doesn't care to understand. And one is ready to criticize. That is unscientific. No inductive mind will do that. Any person who wants to criticize, who criticizes, has to first study. He has to study, he or she has to study what it is all about to criticize. Once you know what it is all about, there is nothing to criticize. You get just absorbed and swallowed by this culture. And you are happy you allow yourself to be swallowed by this culture. Therefore, the profundity of this culture has to sink into you. Looking into the forms and getting their meaning completely. Therefore, a casual attitude towards the culture is really just throwing away what is the most precious, that by being born you have your birthright to own. Thank you.